PHE enables K-6 students with the opportunities of developing the knowledge, skills, and attitudes that are needed to understand value and maintain a happy, healthy, productive, and active lifestyle. The PHE subject is a valuable curriculum area because it encourages K-6 students to develop an understanding and valuing of themselves as individuals and the others who surround them by promoting a sense of personal identity, resilience, connectedness, communication and expression of ideas in a safe and respectful environment, inclusiveness, and building both positive and respectful relationships with one another. It promotes physical activity and participation through movement skills, concepts, and strategies. Understanding the importance of contextual factors such as personal, physical, social, cultural, economic, and political factors, and how they impact health, safety, well-being, and participation in physical activity. And also developing a variety of different skills, such as decision-making skills, which lead to making individual choices, interpersonal skills, self-management skills, communication skills, confidence, and competence. As students grow and develop, they are able to become socially responsible citizens. The game sense approach is a pedagogy that is used in PHE as an approach to modifying sporting games and activities. It is a student-centered, inquiry-based approach that allows students to develop their problem-solving, thinking, and understanding skills while being physically involved in the game. It uses games instead of drills to introduce the skills and tactics of a particular sport or physical activity. The game sense approach is applied by firstly playing a modified game, then assisting the students or players by figuring out what they have to do in order to play the game properly. Then it involves a process of teaching the skills of the game, and finally practicing that particular single skill or a variety of skills within another game. This pedagogy is a great learning experience for students. Light et al. 2014 identifies a dimension of significance as being important because it enables students to be able to clearly see and understand what and how they learn in physical education. By linking the game sense approach to the syllabus, it falls under the strand of movement, skill, and performance. The strengths that the game sense approach has is that it enables students to be able to understand and apply these movement concepts, skills, and performance when participating in sporting and physical activities. It allows the teacher to either increase or decrease a variety of skills from the games, making the games more easy or challenging, and enhances emphasis on the required skills to play the game. It can be fun. It involves the process of playing, promotes fairness and equality, meaning that they allow everyone to participate in the activities whether they are good at it or not. Enables students to think of different strategies and ideas through problem solving and decision making skills. Allows them to develop interpersonal skills such as communication skills, teamwork, and the opportunities of developing and building positive relationships. Builds confidence and resilience. Promotes responsibility. Light's 2012 reading elaborates on responsibility and identifies that engagement and participation impacts an individual student physically, socially, emotionally, and mentally, and allows all students to belong, feel safe, and secure when participating in sporting activities. In this podcast, I have selected weeks 1, 3, 4, and 7. Week 1. Week 1 was an introduction week which focused on understanding what PHE is all about and why it is important for both the teacher and the K-6 primary school students. The purpose of this tutorial looked at understanding the content in PHE through navigating and understanding the structure of the PHE syllabus document. There was also a class activity called the positioning/continuum activity where it involved a bunch of different scenarios of whether someone agrees, disagrees, or is neutral with each statement that was presented on the interactive board. This activity involved the process of students expressing their personal thoughts and opinions on the statements and why they selected and stood in that category. In addition to this, the other activity that was done in this tutorial was learning about the 5 propositions. So these include focus on educative purposes, take a strengths-based approach, value movement, develop health literacy, and include a critical inquiry approach. Overall, I have developed professionally as a result of participating in this tutorial because it has positively impacted me and supported me with understanding the concepts of PHE, some learning activities that I can use in the class, for example, the positioning/continuum activity, because the process of that involves the expression of personal identity and students' opinions and building relationships, and understanding the structure of the syllabus with regards to what PHE content I need to teach to the K-6 students when I am in the classroom. Rocha 2020 discusses the importance of the syllabus as a measurable plan of delivering a quality education. From what I have learned, this will enable me to use some of these strategies, tactics, and learning activities that I learned from this tutorial and apply it in the classroom, and really connect with the students when teaching this content. A 2010 rating from Kremen and Arthur highlights the importance of the curriculum as an acknowledgement of diversity of students within the classroom and the diversity of relationships that they will have with the teacher and one another. The PHE syllabus elaborates on the importance of interpersonal skills such as communication, expressing ideas and opinions, building relationships, and promoting a sense of personal identity. Week 3. Week 3 was a practical tutorial which focused on practically understanding the structure to teaching a PE lesson in the sporting field through the processes of participation and physical activities. I learnt that the structure of a practical PE lesson includes a warm-up activity, which we had done bull rush, an introduction to the lesson to what the students will be doing, skill work, which means working on a particular skill or skills, introduction to the activity, questioning, completing the activity, and a closure. There was also the introduction to the game sense approach, which was another main focus of this tutorial, and as a class we were shown how this approach is practically applied in a variety of different general sporting activities. For example, bull rush, the ball skills in pairs, and we did basketball, and the modified version of that game was the golden child game. Overall, I have developed professionally as a result of participating in this tutorial because it has positively impacted me and has supported me with understanding how to teach a practical PE lesson to primary school students, and also the use of the game sense approach and how I can practically apply and modify some of the skills that I learned in this tutorial to when I'm teaching an actual practical PE lesson to primary school students where they are participating in a variety of different sporting activities. A 2018 reading from Shane Pill elaborates on the importance of skills, techniques, teamwork, and collaboration when developing practical PE lessons. Brooker et al. 2000 discusses that the game sense approach enables the development of both teachers and students to work together through the development of communication skills, collaboration skills, thinking, decision-making skills, and making choices. Week 4. In week 4, it focused on practically understanding the structure to teaching a PE lesson in the sporting field through the context of AFL. The two AFL instructors, Adam and Michael, introduced the concept of AFL to the class, such as what the sport is, how to play it. They then explained the process of how an effective and a holistic teaching and learning program works. So they involved the 5 W's, so who you're teaching the content to, what content you are teaching, how you're going to teach it, why you're teaching it, and where you're teaching it, which is in the sporting field, and briefly went through the meaning of the continuum of learning, which is the content descriptors. Very similar to the week 3 lesson, I learned about how a practical PE lesson is taught to the classroom through AFL, through the structure of a warm-up activity where we did frozen feet, introducing some of the concepts and the skills of AFL. So some of the skills included chess marking, the ice cream scoop passing, the Superman throw, and kicking, where students were working together in both pairs and groups. We also continued on the topic of the game sense approach through applying it to the AFL context. So we learned about the change in approach by making some of the AFL skills challenging. So some examples included changing the directions when passing the ball or throwing the ball in opposite directions. Overall, I have developed professionally as a result of participating in this tutorial because it has positively impacted me and has supported me with understanding how to teach a practical PE lesson to primary school students through the AFL context. It has given me an idea of how to play AFL, understand the basic skills, and it has given me some ideas of what to do if I ever teach AFL at school. Furthermore, I have also learned about the change in approach, so where I can use this as a pedagogy when I'm teaching an actual practical PE lesson to the students, where they're participating in a variety of different sporting activities, and can also allow me to change certain skills in the game by making it both easy and challenging for everyone. So if I do AFL at school, I might consider some of the techniques that I learned in week 4 of the practical tutorial. Week 7. Week 7 focused on understanding how to teach a theoretical PHE lesson. This tutorial looked at using a consistent lesson structure, teaching and learning strategies, and some of the ideas of teaching and learning activities. Some of the suggested structures of how to teach a theoretical PHE lesson was vital to me because in this tutorial included switch on, understanding, for example, think pair square and think pair share, and act and apply through the use of scenarios. Some of the teaching and learning strategies that I learned in this tutorial included brainstorming and discussion, positioning / continuum activities. So that's some of the activities that we had done in the week 1 tutorial. The question box, debriefing, and reflective questioning. It also covered some ideas of teaching and learning activities and resources that I can use when teaching content to primary school K-6 students, such as online websites, videos, interactive websites, and online articles. Overall, I have developed professionally as a result of participating in this tutorial because it has positively impacted me and has supported me with understanding how to teach a theoretical PHE lesson to primary school students. Bertilis et al. 2019 states that physical education can provide students with the ability and confidence to make choices and to be physically active for a lifetime. Within this tutorial, it has given me some ideas of the methods of teaching and learning strategies that I can use in the classroom, such as the positioning / continuum activities, the question box, the debriefing, and the reflective questioning when teaching PHE to primary school K-6 students. Even the variety of teaching and learning resources that were covered in this particular tutorial can also help me professionally because I might want to use some of these online ICT resources when teaching the topics of PHE. So some examples include topics of bullying, road safety, cyberbullying, healthy eating, and drug / alcohol education to K-6 primary school students. Always need to review the resources that are essential to PHE before starting the unit or lesson, and I have to always ensure that the content and the resources are appropriate and relevant for both the students and also relevant to the syllabus. By having a variety of different teaching and learning resources for primary school students, it will enable me as a teacher to apply professional judgments to all strategies, teaching and learning approaches, and resources. An example of this could be the audiovisual materials. So that could include YouTube videos, media clips, and online videos from different websites. Some examples of particular websites that I might want to use professionally when I'm teaching PHE to K-6 primary school students may include the Safety Town website, which is for road safety, the Bullying No Way website for bullying, Nutrition, Eat or Health Australian Government website, and the Beyond Blue website. In conclusion, overall, I have learned a lot about teaching PHE, both theoretically and practically. I have learned about using and navigating the syllabus because it is an important document which will provide me with a measurable plan and a structure of what and how to deliver a quality and quantity of engaging and motivational lessons to primary school students. I also learned about how the structure of both theoretical and practical PHE lessons work. Another important factor is some of the teaching and learning methods that I can use when teaching students both inside and outside the classroom. So some examples of this can include the positioning / continuum activities, which was something that we did in week 1, and it focused on personal identity and expression of thoughts and ideas. It also focused on building positive relationships, debriefing, reflective questioning, so the 3-2-1 thinking is an example, the game sense approach, and the change it approach. This will inform my approach to teaching PHE because I can apply and use some of these ideas and skills that I learned throughout this semester to when I am teaching an actual class of primary school students. Even the list of teaching and learning resources that I access during this semester are also crucial as well because I can use some of these resources when I'm teaching a class. The learning activities that were related to the content because it was relevant to the topic and it met the skills and objectives. So for example, the movement, skill and performance topic was done through the participation of sporting activities. After completing this semester and studying this subject of PHE, I feel more engaged and motivated about teaching PHE. because it will allow me to take what I have learned from this unit and apply these particular concepts, skills, and knowledge when I'm teaching a PHE lesson to primary school K-6 students. I also feel encouraged after studying this subject this semester because when I am in the classroom, it will allow me to get students engaged and invested in their learning, which will lead to improved outcomes by making both the theoretical and practical lessons of PHE a more enjoyable experience for everyone, including myself as well. Autonomy, confidence, competence, relatedness, and building both positive and respectful relationships are vital to being a successful PHE teacher. Thank you.